Hi, hello, and welcome back to episode 11 of our podcast called D.D.D Discussions. Today's episode is a little bit different than our usual episodes. Laura has catched a cold, so episode 11 is gonna be just me talking a little bit. Yes, so that the episode is gonna be uploaded. And I'm gonna quote Laura, to be honest. Because she catched the cold, she was like, "Oh, you need to do it alone." I sound like a 60-year-old chain smoker. Her voice was kind of weird, so basically that's why I'm taking over for today. And actually, before we even started the podcast, we made a deal that if any of us could once not attend the recording, or for example, any one of us is sick, or I don't know, the other one is gonna do a solo episode. That I'm gonna be the first one to do it is a little awkward, but I mean, can't change anything. So yes. And I'll actually kind of want to try to hold this episode a bit shorter than our usual 40 minutes to 1 hour episodes. Hopefully it's gonna work 20 to 30 minutes. I'll try my best. And let's start. Last week's episode was all about our olds, but today I'll tell you a bit more about the life of being an international K-pop fan and living in Seoul for quite some time. Kind of fun. Also some events you're able to attend, some random stuff happening there, for example, pop-up stores, and also the seoul cafes. Seoul cafes. It was weird how I pronounced it. I hate switching kind of accents or languages in one sentence. But yeah. And also, for example, the birthday ads that K-pop will get there, and where to see them usually. But, as usual, for the start of this episode, I'm gonna hit you with our small newsflash. And small disclaimer, we are gonna record episodes mostly Monday, so the news is gonna be from Monday last week to this week's Monday. Basically, covering a whole week, but with news from last week, should work anyways. And first, I'm gonna tell you a bit about what happened in the world of the K industry in a couple of sentences. Then I'm gonna present you some recent comebacks as well as new announced tours. To be fair, for the news part, there's not really much. The only news that was present, I think Jennie at Coachella. But yeah, Jennie at Coachella fans had kind of mixed reactions. Some were like, "Oh my gosh, she did such a good performance and stuff." Some were kind of, could have been better. But I don't know. It kind of seems valid. She's not my favorite singer of all time, but her performance was kind of cool. What I've seen on TikTok. And other news, to be honest, nothing. Yeah. But for the comebacks, we had on the 15th Eunice comeback with Swissy. I don't know how to pronounce that. Then we had Odd Youth comeback, I Like You. On the 16th, there was a highlight pre-release with Endless Ending. Taewi of AB6 had a solo release called Love Struck. On the 17th, Teot had a comeback with Flex Line. On the 19th, we had actually a tribute song, In Memorial, of Moomin. And it was Astro featuring Moonsua, Moomin's sister, ex-member Rocky, Minhyuk of Monster X, Kihyun of Monster X, I Am of Monster X, Hoshi, Wonwoo, Mingyu, DK, and Seungkwan from 17, Kim Dohyun, Chae Yujong, Pangchan of Stray Kids, Ungjae, Channy of SF9, Vivis, the whole group, all three of them, and Hello Gloom. And the song is called Memory of the Moon. Then we also had A-Pink's anniversary comeback, Tap Clap. On the 20th, we've got Big Ocean's new comeback called Attention, and Hansung will come back with Positive Vibes. On the 21st, we got Anu from SHINee solo comeback, Matt. How I call them children, because I actually like them and all of them are younger than me. It's kind of funny. Tuos also had a comeback with Countdowns. Chu had a comeback called Only Cry in the Rain, and Kai, member of EXO, had a solo comeback with Wait on Me. For the tour announcements, I think the biggest one obviously, was Ran Sokjin episode EP tour, not episode, EP tour in US and Europe in summer with 2 stops in London and Amsterdam. Then we have Taeyang Fan Meeting 01 in Asia, Bonadov tour final in Seoul in July, without coming to Europe. Sad but true. We also got an announcement for Psyche's War Tour in the US States for May. Then NCT Toyeon is gonna hold a solo concert in June in Korea. We finally got a turn in Europe for the end of June and beginning of July, but obviously no Austria. So Laura and me don't know how to attend. We would love to attend, but sometimes we can't because of our schedules. And if it's not closer to our hometowns or something, it's kind of hard to go there. And something sad, the Latin part of All Hours tour got actually cancelled. I'm very I'm pretty sad for Latin minutes because I swear the concert videos from Europe right now, or just the concert videos in general of them, they look so good. And maybe, I'm not gonna say much, but maybe Laura and me are in for the Berlin date. We still need to schedule everything, but yeah. And that's actually it for the news part. It's so weird to do this episode alone. I don't know. I mean, I can yap a lot alone, but it's still kind of random. But anyways, the main topic for now, I just wrote down some small words to remind myself, some notes. I got small intro why I lived in Seoul for 11 months. Then I'm gonna talk about Sangil cafes, the birthday cafes to attend and where to find and how to find them, because I actually struggled a little bit with that one. Then I got random announcements on Twitter from various broadcasting channels for events. Lotte Tower with some pop-ups, also with some fan sign pop-ups where you can see your faves. Other kind of pop-ups, random advertisements everywhere, random events happening at cafes, and seeing Idol advertising everything, and how it feels like all shops play just K-pop. Concerts to attend every week, random events suddenly everywhere, and Idol radio. So that's literally just the main points I'm gonna talk a little bit about more in detail. And then, actually, what I'm kind of happy about, I'm gonna do the song recommendation today. I mean, I love the drama recommendations, but sometimes it's also kind of cute and funny and happy and yay that I can do the song recommendations as well, because I swear, I find some songs to hyperfixate on every week. And it's not even funny anymore. And I also got a drama rec for you. So, let's start with the main topic. First of all, why have I been to Seoul? I actually had I was in school 3 years ago, and I needed to repeat a year. And in that year, I was kind of struggling with everything, and I don't know, I just wanted to come out and be a little bit far away from Austria. I don't know, I just wanted some distance from my hometown, also from my Austria itself and my family and also school. So I repeated the year and I had my final exams. Then I worked part-time in summer a little bit to get some more money and applied for the working holiday visa. So basically I went with my working holiday visa to Seoul. And I scheduled it to be 11 months because I still needed to do one exam the next year, 2024. Actually, fun fact, I passed that one. So I'm fully graduated from school. So yeah. I don't know, it still feels kind of weird to say this because school was pretty hard for me. School is a hard topic, especially maths. But anyways, yeah, so I got my working holiday and I traveled from Austria to Poland on the 21st of September 2023 because the K-pop Nation was happening there. And I met Laura and 2 other friends. And we've stayed I arrived Friday in the morning. And I went to Korea Monday, I think like lunchtime kind of thingy, early afternoon. And first I lived at a host family that I knew because I went to Korea 2022 as well for like 3 weeks, 2 with EF and 1 just for holiday. And yeah, I lived there for a month. I didn't literally live in like Seoul. There was like I lived in a smallerish. It's not very small. It's still really big, but like in another city underneath Seoul. And then I moved apartments. Actually, I found an apartment after like 1 month. And that's where I don't know. He's never gonna listen to this podcast, but I just want to say thank you, Tipchuin, like a house owner manager guy, for accepting me and my friend as well. So yeah. Then I think I managed to do like the RSC stuff, my bank account over there, and beginning of January I actually found also a job, worked part-time, 22 hours at a small restaurant, and also with the cutest hajangnim and with the cutest onni. So yeah, and I managed to find a lot of friends, like from all around the world, and also some from Korea, and it's kind of, yeah, basically that's why I lived in Seoul. And I've been into K-pop since 2017, like end of 2017. And first I was like more into like 1 or 2 groups. Now I'm actually more into like a couple of groups. So for me it was kind of like, whoa, overwhelming to be in the city where everything happens. Especially if there's like one group I like having a comeback, and then 2 weeks later another group having a comeback that I also like and stuff. So there was a lot to attend. I tried to manage like go to a lot of stuff that I wanted to, but I also didn't go to some stuff. But yeah. And yeah, I've stayed in Korea. I think I've worked until end of June. Yeah, because I've been to 80s in July and 60s. Yes. I think I've worked until end of June. And I came back at the end of August. So basically 11 months. Yeah, and that's why I lived in Seoul. Just alone, wanted to have like a little more distance to Austria and feeling more independent. And it actually kind of helped me grow. And also try, like, after the 11 months in Korea, before that, I was actually kind of introvert. Not very, very introvert, but I was scared to do like a lot of stuff alone. These days, I'm literally just like, yep, I don't care. I'm just gonna do it. That's also how we started the podcast as well. Because before that, I was literally like, nah, I don't know how to do that. And now, sitting here recording an episode alone. But yes, that was a story why I was in Korea for 11 months as a multi-stan. Moving on to one thing that I actually did also when I was in Korea 2022, but I've only been to one. Now I've been to several. Sangil cafes. Sangil cafes, or also birthday cafes, are actually, if you look at one group, I just take, I don't know, Q from the boys, or the boys in general. If you look at the boys and like their birthdays, everyone is like kind of scheduled not that far away from each other, but also like every month there's something. Like every month there's a birthday almost happening. So, for example, if it's Q's birthday in November, there's gonna be a Sangil cafe or several Sangil cafes to attend. And the Sangil cafe is literally just a cafe, like fans rent a cafe for the specific idol, and making paper cups with cute designs, freebies like posters, stickers, notepads, kinda note sheets. I don't know, what did I get as well? I got a lot of things, but I can't remember. Like just small cards with cute pictures of him, or The one with Q I've been to, like I've been to 4 for Q. He's more also, basically. Yeah, obviously. Um, one was like very cute. It was called Journey to Q, and it was themed for like in a cartoon stylish way. And it was so cute, like I loved it. And they're so creative and everything's decorated. Like you can find so much decoration and just pictures of like the members and Q or just your favorite member, for example, or the member of the group, whoever's birthday it is. And I swear it's so cute. And sometimes it might be a little bit overwhelming because you go in there and you're like, oh my god, there's so much stuff. Like there's a corner with pictures and there's everything like I don't know, some merch that from the group or something with like the member themed. And then you're also like, oh my god, there's different menus. But to be honest, don't worry much about that one. Just go in there and be like, oh yeah, oh my god, it's so cute. Look at everything, be calm. And normally you order a drink. For example, most of the time it's talgi latte, like strawberry latte, maybe cappe latte, or ice americano. And then you get like, sometimes you get a cookie with it, a themed one, and then you actually get the merch, like the freebies. And I think most of the time I paid like 6,000 won or 8,000 won. So like 4-ish, 5-ish euros for the stuff. It's a freebie, but you actually can pay for a drink. Sometimes it's actually overpriced. To be honest, I've been to a Jongen one for Stray Kids. And the inclusions were kind of cute, but I don't know. I paid Palcha one, so I paid 8,000 won, and I was like, Jesus. That's pricey. And I didn't get that much stuff, so yeah. But it was for a friend of mine, so yeah. Went there and was like, might not go to another one. But it's also depending on the like group. And yes, that's how you attend single couples. Sometimes, if you're lucky, it didn't happen to me sadly, but sometimes there's the possibility that the idol, like the one that has a birthday on that day, might appear. And you can look up some videos on TikTok. It's so cute. Like just them coming in there and appreciating everything. So it's very, very cutesy. And sometimes if you go, one tip, if you go on the last day, like in the last few hours, maybe there's not that much left. But sometimes the sajonim of the cafe, like the owner of the cafe or the host of the event, might ask like, oh yeah, would you like to have more cups of this? Or I don't know, more of the stickers or something? Because they want to get rid of it, obviously. So I got actually for my friends I went to 4Q single cafes. And at the last one, I actually got like, I think 6 cups. And also some like of the pouches, like the cute ones with the stuff in it, like the notepads and everything, just for free because they wanted to get rid of it. And I actually took it because I knew some, like I still know them, but I knew some people that would like to, like they appreciated that I took it for them because they also like the boys and their roles. So yeah. And how to find them is actually most of the time they're in Hongdae or like the Mapo area. Sometimes at Hapjeong, very occasionally kind of in Gangnam. But if you go on Twitter and just type in, I guess best is if you type in it in Korean or just copy paste it in Korean, like 생일 카페, then the member's name. And then just like there is sometimes like I think it's the Are or Anne. I'm not sure what it was. But there was a specific word as well that's like a thread. I don't know how to pronounce that one, sorry. Thread. I don't know how to pronounce it. But then you can find actually a lot. And you just need to like look up the year that it has been posted, but because sometimes there is not a new one, like a new announcement. And I found once, like, I wanted to go to one, and it was like from 2 years past. Like, yeah. It was kind of funny. I've been there and I was like, hey, why is nothing happening here? Oh. Wrong year. It's not 2022. But yes. So, there's also an app in Korea where the single copies are actually also on the map for itself. My Korean host sister showed it to me, but I can't remember I don't know. By Jesus, I don't know anymore. So my go-to was actually just Twitter 생일카페 Anne, I think it was. Then I looked it up. It was Tare, T-R-E. I don't know, but it's something like this. So yeah, that's the 생일카페s. Then random announcements on Twitter from various broadcasting channels or events. Like 4 events. I followed, like, sometimes I looked up just events in Seoul, and then I looked up K-pop Seoul, and sometimes actually they were like on Twitter most of the time. My sources, my favorite sources are Twitter, to be honest, or maybe TikTok. Yes. I looked up on Twitter, for example, K-pop event Seoul, and then I just went through it and I was like, oh. And also, sometimes my For You page was very nice on Twitter, so sometimes it showed me like, here, you can see a mysterious group busking in Shincheon on this day, this time. For example, for me, it was with Gorcha. So basically, that's how I saw Gorcha, to be honest. Yes. Actually, these events are mostly very, very, very random. Like, it's not on daily occasion, but if you're a multi-stan, it's kind of easy to participate in this kind of events. For example, I don't know, I also saw Ace busking because their official account was like, oh yeah, here you got free Ace busking at, where was it? Coex. This time, here, come. That's it. And then I was like, yeah, okay, go. That's how you attend random, like, broadcasting channel events and stuff. Then, if you're lucky, go to Lotte Tower, go to the mall, and you might find random K-pop pop-ups. Or, actually, random fan sign pop-ups. Like, if the group has a fan sign and it's in Lotte Tower, you're actually also able to sit on the upper floor or just stand on the upper floor and watch, like, and look below. And you can still, like, see them interact with the other fans or just interact with, like, the crowd and stuff. Didn't happen to me, but I know a friend who went just randomly to Lotte Tower and catched and hyped in there doing a fan sign. So yeah. I don't know, it's kind of funny though. Then also other pop-ups. Not only like the pop-ups at Lotte Tower, but there are also pop-up like events happening in, I think, Shincheon, Hongdae. I've been to one in Gangnam at the Line Friend store or Kakao Friend store for ZB1. Also like Songpagu, like the one at Lotte. And also, I don't know, like if the official group makes a pop-up store, they mostly post it on Twitter or Insta as an announcement. Then just look up the location. I also know, where was it? It's called Hyundai Mall. The Hyundai Mall is also pretty famous for pop-ups, especially after comebacks. I've been to the Boys one and to the 80s one. Twice, I think, even there. So basically just on the official Twitter, basically Twitter is my go-to for everything. I think I said it already, but yeah. And pop-ups are kind of cute because you go in there and it's like literally depending. I take the OX one and I take the Boys one for that one. I've been to the OX pop-up store for the anniversary and it was literally kind of just, you walk in there into the K-pop store. It was at a K-pop shop kind of thingy. So I've been there and I was like, oh yeah, you can buy stuff, it's cute. And then there's lucky draws. It's kind of complicated, to be honest, and it's also very overwhelming if you're an introvert, kind of. Like, I'm an extrovert, my MBTI is ENTP, but I'm still kind of introvert as well, so I'm ambivert, and it's kind of like, I was overwhelmed, kind of, by everything. But I've actually met the cutest person there, and she was very nice, and she actually kind of helped me as well. And also kind of calmed me down. I never told her that, but it was like very nice to meet someone and then talk to her, and I don't know, it was just, yeah. And this one was just like, yeah, decoration, and they've been there a few days ago, and it was like, they painted on, not painted, but they drew on some of their pictures, and also took Polaroids, and hung it up, and it was very, very cutesy decorated. And it was only playing like the Omega X songs and everything. But there's also the other kind of pop-up stores. I've been to the one for the boys and was it April? I think it was April. And it was literally like an exhibition kind of thing. So there's also these two kinds of pop-ups. And sometimes you need to pay for it. For example, for the Omega X one, it was free. For the boys one, I paid Iman one. So it was like 20,000 won. It's not that bad, but like it's random to pay for an exhibition kind of thingy. Not exhibition, but like pop-up store. But it was very well decorated. It was like the whole house. It was in Gangnam, pretty close to IST Entertainment, and also pretty close to my work actually, kind of. But we've been there, and it was like all floors. It was because of the fantasy theology that the upper floor was lip gloss themed, the second floor was Watch It themed, and the last one was Nectar themed, because Nectar was the comeback that they were promoting at the time. And you just walked around and saw like the props and also the outfits and cute messages from like the boys members. And at the end there was like a shop you could pay. Also, you get to, like, if you go to the pop-up store, there's a chance to like make lucky draws or just get random PCs. And that was the time I put queue. So I paid like more than 50,000 won for the merchandise because I bought a little bit. And I've been to another place, not that far from like the actual pop-up store. And they were like, yeah, just show them the receipt and then you get the photo card. And I actually pulled queue and I was like the happiest person on earth. Literally, I still have it in my phone case. But yeah, that's the pop-up stores. Then, one random thing, and you will never get like bored of it. The random advertisements everywhere. Like, if you walk through Korea, you see a lot of random advertisements, for example, for a gym or for a bar or whatever. And also for like other shows and other stuff. But for K-pop, it's also kind of funny because sometimes you just walk at the subway station and then there's a birthday ad or something playing for the idol, and you're like, oh, hey, wait, Q? Why are you here? Or I worked at Shinseok, like Shinsa Station, and there was a big screen. I passed like the days that I worked at, like at the restaurant. And I walked in and I was like looking at it and I was like, hey, Stray Kids pop-up store advertisement. Nice. I know, it's just kind of funny. Also, there are like kind of, as I said, birthday ads. Mostly they were posted on Twitter, or it's also debut anniversary or just anniversary ads kind of. Or, for example, just cheering up at near the, I don't know, entertainment for an idol. And they're also made by fans. And it's pretty common that you just go there and take a picture of it or something and be like, oh my god, how cute, and fangirl a little bit. I've also done that with, for example, OX. I saw one on Twitter, and I was like, oh my god, that's for the concert. Okay, let's go there. It was in Apgujeong, so I went there like, yay! And then I waited there and I was like, Jesus, please. I feel awkward to wait for it, but I want to take a picture of it. Yeah, so yeah. But it's kind of cute and it's kind of fun. And every time I've walked, like, mostly they're at subway stations, at the screens. And sometimes I walked there and I was like, oh, hey, there's an Hanbin advertisement. And I took a picture of it. Or, oh, hey, I don't know, there was birthday ad for Songhwa. And also, for example, at Hongdae Station, there was kind of common, like, there's a kind of way from like the subway 2, or was it 2? I don't know. I think it's from 2 to 1, like to the airport line, and it was like upstairs kind of. Hongdae is actually very confusing. So yes, I just know there is like a long hallway that you pass sometimes, and there are like really big advertisements, like posters of the idols, and sometimes also like video ads. It's very funny. And you see a lot of fans. And sometimes fans actually stick sticky notes, like to the posters or to the, I don't know, screens as well, sometimes. And also, you can also sometimes catch idols looking at them and being like, oh yeah. I've seen, I don't know if I think it was for a musical or something. And I've been to Shinseok as well, where I saw the SKZ one, like for the pop-up store, the ad. And then I walked there and I was like, oh yeah. And they were like the musical actors. There was an ad for a musical, and the musical actors actually also took pictures with it. It was kind of cute. I was like, it was wholesome. I don't know. So yeah. Jesus, I'm yapping a lot, so I actually took a sip of my energy. But we're almost past it. Yes. Um, the next thing that I wanted to discuss quickly was seeing Idol advertising everything and all shops play K-pop. To be fair, sometimes it's kind of annoying, to be honest. I think the first month it was kind of cool and funny because it was like you walk in there and then there's that song playing and the other shop is playing this song, and I don't know, that shop is playing aespa, that one is playing NCT. But at one point I actually also got kind of sick of it, to be honest. So I always had my headphones on anyways. But it's kind of funny because in Austria you go into shops and there's like some random music or just like the pop music, and then you're in Korea and everything is like K-pop music and you're like, whoa, damn. And sometimes I've been to a photo booth with a friend and it was playing the Voice Planet songs like Over Me and also Jelly Pop. I swear I was happy with it. I was literally like, oh my god, never heard it in a while. So, and also once I was in I don't know, I think it was a bookstore or I just a clothing store, and it was playing Omega X, and I was like, what? Who knows Omega X? Felt like no one knew them. And also every time I went into a bookshop, it was playing The Boys. It was not even funny anymore. I went in there, and at the K-pop section, there was literally always playing Lip Gloss. It went so far that I literally texted Laura, bro, I'm literally haunted by lip gloss. But yes. Also, if you live in Korea, there's an opportunity to go to a K-pop concert every damn weekend. It's not even funny anymore. I actually also wanted to go to more concerts because, yes, for example, I've had plans to go to the 1 week concert, also to the Only One Off concert, but because of work, I couldn't attend the Only One Off, and because of, I don't know, money, I think, back then. I think it was money. I haven't been to the only on 1 week, yes. But I don't know. Sometimes, for example, random, you get like notifications and it's like, hey, in 3 weeks, concert of this group. And then another group drops like 1 week later, concert this weekend. Concert this weekend. So I'm very happy because I worked Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and most of the concert actually is Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Korea. That's very different to Europe, where most of the concerts are like on a random weekday. And that's literally awful. But I worked Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and sometimes I actually ask my Oni to like change shifts for me to go to a concert. I don't know, I just take as an example Omega X. The first Omega X concert was on February 24th and 25th. Yes, 24th. And I've been to the 24th one. It was like the first concert of them. And I asked like my Saturnim, it was like, hey, Saturnim, like boss, could I maybe see them and work only like in the morning and then not in the afternoon? Because I worked the whole day actually. And she was like, yes, sure, just ask your Oni to like change shifts. So for the Omega X, for example, one, I worked from 10 to 4, went to the concert venue at 5, and went into the concert at 6. So it was kind of rushed, and it actually smelled like quiche. So everyone was like, on the next day, I actually was joking, yeah, because I was always next to me, and my suddenly was actually like, maybe he was hungry, maybe you smelled like quiche, and I was like, maybe, because I smelled myself, like I smelled on my clothes quiche, because we were quiche restaurant, like French-inspired restaurant. And I was like, maybe they smelled the food. Because I actually, I don't know why, but I had the feeling that I could smell myself. I was like, I don't know. Do I smell like quiche? So it was very funny though. And my friend actually told me, "Nah, you don't." But I don't know. I don't trust her. And Sajin also told me that, oh, maybe they were hungry. We will never know. But yes, it's actually a concert to attend every weekend. So I don't know. If you're a student, I think it might be easier to attend on the weekends. But if you kind of work on the weekends, it's hard. But still manageable, to be honest. And it was very fun because they're not that expensive like in Europe. And for my last thing that I wanted to say in Korea, that's like K-pop related that you can do, idol radio. There's gonna be another episode anyways, but idol radio is literally every Monday and Wednesday. I think it didn't change, and I think it's not gonna change any way soon. But yes, idol radio is so fun to go, and it's literally cool because they post the schedule on Twitter as well, and you get like the schedule for next week, this week, and so on, like following. And you always have like two groups attending. Like if your faves had a comeback, for example, I just take All Hours. If All Hours had a comeback, you might get the chance to see them at Idol Radio. How to get into Idol Radio, I'm gonna talk in the next episode. I don't know when the episode is gonna happen, but in the Idol Radio episode. But through Idol Radio, I actually saw Vivis, Lucy, the boys, but only like Eric, Jacob, Jesus Christ, Sonu as the host, Q, Hyunja. I also saw, Even, and I saw someone else as well, Gravity, and I know there was someone else, but I can't remember. I literally saw a lot of groups being at Idol Radio because I've been quite some time, not that much, but yes, if there was like a group I really wanted to see, I was actually also queuing a chair there. So, or I just went there and was lucky enough to get in and see them or something. But yes, idol radio is also something happening commonly, and you can see idols pretty easily, and you don't need to pay. So most of the stuff is actually kind of free that I mentioned, to be honest. Only the Sanger Cup is and the concerts are you have to pay, but for example for the pop-up stores, most of the time you don't need to pay to get in, only if you want to buy something. If you have just the experience, if you just want to have the experience, like going there, free. Yeah, that's why I actually love it. And for example, in Austria, we don't have like single copies or any events happening or concerts happening. So it was literally a whole other world for me as a K-pop fan, like a multi-fan. Yes. To be honest, I think that's it. I have yapped enough. I don't actually know how much I yapped, but yes, 40 minutes. Jesus. Hope I can cut some stuff out. Moving on to the last part of this podcast. It's called Song Recommendations and Travel Recommendations, and both today from myself. For the song recommendation, I actually want to give a shout out to Ruben. Ruben. It's kind of weird to pronounce his name on English. Ruben. With Foolproof. I made a small cover on Insta and TikTok. So if you want to listen to that one, maybe check our social medias. And he also liked it, and I'm really, really happy about that one. Thank you for that. I was really scared to upload it, but this song is so pretty and so beautiful, and yeah, that's why I wanted to make a small cover out of it. If you want to have a cutesy, I don't know, song to calm down or just relax, listen to Foolproof. Ruben did a great job. And for the drama recommendation, I actually kind of take it short with Angel's Last Mission Love. It's about an angel that kind of failed his job because he helped a person not to die, like a girl not to die, and she was blind, and she's still blind. But then suddenly, after the accident, she could see again. And because he helped her to see again, he needed to make her fall in love with someone. Just guess how that happened? What's gonna happen soon? She might have fallen for him. Or he might have fallen for him. But the problem is, now he needs to make her fall in love with someone else or something. And it's actually kind of forbidden that he loves, like the angel Tan loves someone. But yes, it's very cutesy. Like the first time I watched it, first few episodes is kind of like, I don't know about it. But one episode actually made me feel so single. Like they were so cute. Chemistry was on point. And actually also the storyline was pretty good. So yeah, give it a go, I guess. And yeah, that's it for today. I have like 43 minutes to cut. I talked pretty a lot. That's 20 to 30 minutes. I hope I can cut a little bit, but I'm not sure about it actually. I hope my yapping was fine. I didn't really have a script. I only had like the notes that I took. But yes. I hope I brought a little bit more what to do as a K-pop fan in Korea to you, and some like, I don't know, inspiration for your maybe trip to Korea and Seoul and whatever. But yeah, I don't know how Laura ends that one most of the time. But I think that's it for today. Have a good one. Stay safe. I hope Laura's gonna be here in the next episode again, because solo episodes are weird. Just yapping on my own. Thank God I yap on my own sometimes. Yeah, I don't know. And if you like this episode, give us a like, maybe subscribe or whatever, and we'll see each other in the next episode. Bye!